I'm gonna start this story by saying players fall too.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video.
Y'all ready for a story time? Let's get into it, shall we? I'm gonna start this story by saying players fall too. So basically, I dropped my CBR for the very first time. I've had it for a year, and yesterday I dropped her. Like, oh my goodness, my heart dropped. But I didn't drop it like in like an accident or anything. I was in a parking lot, and as you guys may know or may not know if you're new, I'm short, like short, like I'm 5 feet no inches short. When I fell, I was in the parking lot, and it was on like a incline on one side, and there was also gravel on the ground. So normally I try to kick some of the gravel from under my foot, and I try not to bag up on like an incline, but the space that I was trying to get into was like really oddly shaped. So by the time I noticed, I could not recover, like, at all. Y'all see this intersection? I was trying to figure out where to turn because I haven't been this way in a nice little minute, like in a few months. And I think, yeah, I see it. That's just so weird. Why would it be shaped like this? This is definitely weird. I was trying to get into the spot, and it was just really just weird. I can't even describe it, to be perfectly honest. But I dropped her. So I'm gonna show you guys a video so you can get like a first person view of how I tipped over, fell, dropped my bike, you know. Yeah, so here you go. Yeah, I dropped her, and I'm not happy about it, but I know everybody drops their bike at some point. Like with my very first one, baby girl tipped over the first day that I got her. Like I was almost to a point where I was gonna give her back. But I'm gonna talk to y'all in a brief second because it's super windy on the expressway. So hold on, give me a minute. I like people. They always wave. Well, some people are. But, you know, the nice ones that wave, I like them. All right. But now that I'm out of the wind. So basically, let me click in the neutral. Hopefully the light not about to change. But yeah, like I was hot and I was upset. But I forgot what I was saying. So I dropped her. No one was in the parking lot, so no one really saw it, which is a lot less embarrassing. But it was just so weird because I got off and I still didn't understand what happened. Like, looking at the space, it looked okay to pull it to bag into, because normally I'll examine like the spaces I'm pulling into because I have to. I'm short. I know that I have to be aware of the spaces that I go into and the spaces that I stop in. Like, even on the street, I would have a lot more trouble stopping at a red light in the right lane, because right lanes slope downward on the right side. So I know I would have a problem stopping over there. It's like little things that you kind of have to worry about when you're a shorter rider. But yeah, like, the space did not seem to be that big of a problem, but it actually was. Falling is also weird because the bike doesn't seem heavy until it gets to a certain point. Like, there's a certain point where the bike just gets really heavy and it's hard to recover. Like, I want to say, if you step down off your bike, once it gets to like where your knee is in a lean, it's really, really hard to come back from that. And it's physics. It's about the lean, it's about the weight, and the bike just, that lane was a little bit much for me to recover. So yeah. But shout out to all of the people that did, check on me to make sure that I was good. So that was great. I really thank you guys. But I'm fine. As you can see, I got up. I didn't even like hit the ground. Like, I wasn't like laying on the ground. It was more like, ah, crap. It was like a kneel, like, will you marry me type thing. But yeah, I'm good. Nothing was hurt. The only thing that was scratched was my exhaust. And if you have a stock exhaust or have ever seen one or have ever had one, them things are huge. But my frame sliders protected everything else from getting scratched. So my baby girl, Miss Ruby Rose, is still prettier than ever. But yeah, her first fall, she took it like a champ. And she's a sturdy little lady. But for anybody that is thinking about riding, or if you just started riding, or if you've been riding, at some point, most people do drop their bikes, or they fall over in the parking lot. So that's just something that happens. A suggestion that I got was to lower my bike, and y'all that made that suggestion, I'm telling y'all, I'm just short. My bike is as low as it's gonna get. Miss Thing is not getting any lower. If I got any lower, the tail of my bike would be on my wheels, okay? So I need to do some squats. Like, lowering this bike is definitely not the answer. I did it already. Another suggestion that I've gotten was to get my seats shaved down. And the good thing about newer Hondas is the seats are already pretty thin. The one that I have anyway, my seat is really thin, so shaving it down would not only make it uncomfortable, but it ain't gonna be too much left, So that's out of the question. I did receive a good one that was to get shoes with a thicker sole, because it'll give me more ground clearance. And I've been trying to find some. I don't want to ride in heels, even though I thought about getting like a super thick block heel to ride in. That's like my last resort, because most times with heels, they most times with heels, they have a platform in the front, and that messes up my the amount of pressure that I want to apply when I like brake and stuff. And it just feels weird. Like, I don't want to wear those shoes and then over brake and be in a bad situation. So I need to find some good ones with a thin sole in the front with a like nice thick heel. But shout out to everybody that checked up on me, made sure I was good, gave me suggestions. Y'all are the bomb. And don't be scared. Like, don't be ashamed if you do drop your bike or if your bike tips over. It happens. So keep your head up. You got this. It's not as bad as you may think. But as always, thank you guys for joining me for another episode. Thank you for being a part of the Poetic Clique. If you are not a part of the Poetic Clique, make sure you subscribe, like, drop a comment in the comment section below for people that might need a little encouragement to hop back on the bike after either dropping their bike or tipping over in a parking lot. If you see somebody in a parking lot and they fail, and this is even if you don't ride, if you see somebody in a parking lot and they fail, just help them out a little bit, because these bikes are really heavy. So sometimes we need a little help, to recover it. But as always, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
I personally hate battle scars, but she tipped over for the very first time. Yeah, that's all that's wrong in the parking lot, and it would be in the spot where there's just brick. I think I was just like super tired because I came where I came because I need to stretch. I need to get somewhere and just stretch everything out, because when I stopped, my legs were so weak. Normally I can just like use my strength to keep me and the bike up. It was just me. The bike was, it's okay. The frame sliders did what they were supposed to do. The rather large exhaust though, just minor scratches, but it ain't gonna be there for long. So she's still pretty.